r/NoSleep. Posted by you/the dangerous. They warned me off the old tree. I didn't listen. That tree is cursed. Avoid its acorns like hell. I'd heard it before my trip into the forest in the southern peninsula of Cape Town. They hadn't said how the tree'd look. They didn't say how the tree looked except that I'd know it was the one the second I put my eyes on it, and I did. The blood-red leaves pulled my eyes in as if they'd hooked. All the trees around me turned into nothing but a blur as my focus sharpened on it. The sounds of the different colorful birds molded into a song, where I'd hear them all at once, and then nothing, over and over. At that moment, an acorn fell down. It didn't have to fall long. It was a short tree, barely the length of a human. The voice of that old man played clearly in my mind, but why should I listen to his folklore and myths? The acorn, for me, was filled with beauty and a hunger welled up inside of me to have it. I got closer. I bent down to pick it up. Its surface was sharp and spiky, and felt hard like stone. I turned my palm around to it, when my heart jolted. The acorn sunk into my palm like water. It went in slowly, and took its time in stretching my skin, nerves and bones. I grabbed it, and tried pulling it out. It was like grabbing the flat part of stone and trying to pull it out. That and the abhorrent pain didn't stop me from trying, but in just a few seconds it was gone. So was the pain, and I wondered if it was all an illusion. A sensation I shouldn't have felt welled up. It was the feeling of a limb going dead, the one caused by accidentally sleeping on your hand or sitting down for too long. With every beat of my heart the sensation only grew stronger, spreading into my shoulders, arms, legs, feet. At last, I could only feel the blood coursing through my body. It was a strange thing trying to walk without feeling my feet or the ground beneath it. I didn't know if I stepped on a sharp pebble, or twisted my leg. All I could sense was the blood streaming through my veins. I wondered if all of this could have been caused by water deprivation. I grabbed the bottle of water in my purse and poured it down my neck. I didn't feel anything in my mouth even as I heard the water sloshing around, but for the streaming of blood in my tongue. Suddenly, I felt the urge to cough, and fell down on the ground. I coughed and threw up all the water on the ground. When I stood up again, I felt that the ground was too far away, and the leaves of the trees were too close. I looked at my legs to see them much thinner than humanly possible. I looked to my arms and fingers, and I noticed that they too had begun to spread. I couldn't feel anything but for the blood coursing through my body. It was a sick feeling, and I longed to feel my body once more, but I'd already known that it wasn't going to happen, and instead I brought up my phone to type this up. As I type this up I see that the skin on my arms is turning into bark, my fingers into branches, and leaves are sprouting out of my hair. My legs have grasped to the ground and molded into one. Despite this my consciousness remains. I'm still here, feeling nothing but the coursing of blood. The next story of this video. Posted by you/the dangerous. I woke up. There was a monster standing in my room staring at me. I woke up. Well, technically if you want to be fancy, you're supposed to write I woke. Most writers trying to sound professional do it, but it always sounded wrong to my ears. So, I woke up it is. Ordinarily when I wake up I yawn, stretch my arms, and argue with myself not to fall asleep again. This time, I woke up and screamed. Its face was only 2 inches away from mine and I felt its cold breath brush up against the space of skin beneath my nose. My screaming turned into its screaming, which turned into me screaming louder, which turned into its screaming louder. We took a breath together and instead of screaming, we stared at each other silently, my brown eyes staring into its bloody holes. "Get away from me," I said, and the monster leaned up, perhaps a saddened expression flashed. I don't know what blood spurting out of those holes is supposed to signify. "Hey," its voice was the opposite of what I'd expected. If it was a show, this creature would be voiced by a 9-year-old boy trying to sound as manly as possible. "Listen, my hearing is really sensitive and it hurts when you're screaming like that, so I'd appreciate it if you stopped screaming." Am I dreaming? No, but now that you're awake you could help me with this problem I'm having. You see, for the last 3 hours or so I've been smelling you, trying to figure out if you're tasty or not. I'd like to know a few things. When was the last time you showered? Why would I help a person trying to eat me? Well, it's obvious. Because it would be rude to not do so. But that's just not true. I don't have to help you. No, you don't have to do anything, but what if you needed help and somebody said, "I don't have to help you," how would you feel then? Yeah, but you're talking about literally eating me. Something I don't consent to. Yes, but we both know I don't care about your consent since I climbed through your window. So that's not an issue to the current dilemma we have. This is really strange. Why would I tell you to do something that would hurt me? But it wouldn't hurt you. I'd think you'd rather enjoy it. I would not enjoy being eaten. Have you ever tried it? No. Then you don't know. I can guarantee you that it's a very pleasant experience. No. You're lying. To eat me you'd have to drive your teeth into my skin. Driving my teeth into your skin gives you a very good feeling. No. That just isn't the case. Then you'd have to rip off my limbs, which would mean I couldn't use them. Which is a good thing. No, it's not. It's not a good thing at all. Then my blood would come all over my bed, which I'd have to clean. Not if you were dead. But I don't want to be dead. Sure. But I don't have to kill you to eat you. I could take part. Like your arm. But I want my arms. Then your leg? My body is not up for negotiation. I see. Now you're making me feel awful. You should. You crept through my window to eat me. Relax, man. I'm just trying to feed my kids. I also have kids. Wow. I'm going to cry. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean any of this. No, 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 don't cry. No. Now you're making me feel awful. Please stop. Things have just been so hard, you know. My wife's left me and my kids don't want to talk to me if I'm not bringing food in. I just don't know what to do. I just want to end it. That sounds rough, man. I mean monster. I mean creature. Of course creature. Listen, things will get better. I'd recommend you switch occupations. I don't know if this is good for your mental health. Yeah. The working hours are abysmal. Like I start at midnight and end at 6. I don't want to be up all night. And like, people always scream and plead and cry, and they don't understand that I'm just doing my goddamn job. Ah. It's so annoying. Listen creature. I also have to go to work, so I'd really appreciate it if you left. Okay. Can't I grab a leg for tasting though? No. Ah damn. It turned around, and crept out of my window. That was the last I saw of it.